Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you had a good weekend. It's August 18th, Monday. We're going to review the 0-day options today. I took on SPY. Monday. Hope you had a good one. Pretty tight range today. Very liquidity building, chop. But there are trades in here. Believe it or not, you just got to be careful. On the 30-minute, we've gone nowhere. We're now below the 5-day, which is this gold line up here. But yeah, we're just still in this range up here. Massive amount of liquidity. So I missed this morning. I got in around, where was it? I don't remember. Somewhere in here, maybe? Or 11. Yeah, I think it was like here. Notice we hadn't gone anywhere, just basically in this range. And what did I get going? I got white identified, this purple, gold, pretty much everything. I kind of adjusted them a little bit later on, but that was pretty much it. And then later I got this red. So, yeah, inverse cup was completed here, but we also had a cup completed there. So once I started charting these, then I was just kind of waiting to see what was support, resistance, and kind of how that all worked out. Came down and kind of made another inverse cup. So looked more bearish than bullish as it didn't retest those highs. This purple definitely looked like it was confirmed for one of the algos, resisting and then breaking out and then retesting for support. And then this white one looked legitimate to me as well. So yeah, I just kind of waited through all here. I don't even know where my first trades are. Let me see. Oh yeah, that's right. This came down. I considered taking puts on the break of this white, as it, clearly confirmed this as a bullish control, or sorry, bearish control. And just, I didn't like the tight range. I didn't like the reward. I'm like, I'm gonna wait for it to retest. I think I had the red up there by that point, but it's possible I didn't. And so it came down, fully completed the inverse cup here. Kind of did it here, but I waited through all this. I saw this little inverse head and shoulder. I thought about taking this for just a retracement trade, a zombie as Eric calls it. It didn't. It would have been nice in hindsight, of course, especially since you had that nice little inverse head and shoulder structure, and it was at low day, and yeah, that could have been a nice trade. However, I was still fine with catching retest on here. So nice liquidity here. Rallied up. Then I put this white one in. That's right. Which I don't know if this was legit or not. But just for this little rally, it worked for me. It did come up. VWAP was converging with the white, also with this red. So all three of those were the resistance there. And so I liked that for puts. When it came in here, though, I was starting to get too anxious. I wanted to wait until it came all up here. I wasn't sure if it was. So I had orders to get in here, but they never filled. There were, good cheap fills, but I never got them. So I ended up grabbing one on this red candle, unfortunately. That was, of course, before this white. But I was just one, and I was going to scale in. And I was going to leave my stop for up here. So kind of a wide range for the stop, unfortunately. But I thought I'm going to scale in regardless. But yeah, that first one was kind of a bad entry. So first one was at 109 for 35 cents. So somewhere on, well, maybe it was on that next candle. Maybe, yeah, it could have been on this one. Oh yeah, it was a limit order I put on this, but didn't fill to this candle. So I was being a little bit disciplined because I didn't just market order it. And then it rallied up. I'm like, okay, so then it's retesting where I wanted it to. Hadn't built any kind of microstructure yet like it did here, but it doesn't have to. I mean, this could be the shoulder and this could be the head. Bought another one at 113, so I'm averaging in at this point on this candle, on the retest. And then it's coming up, it's flirting with this level, getting a little jumpy. I got another one at 116. Let's see. Yeah, right here. And then I bought another one. Yeah, remember I said last week? I was like, I just want to scale up on one good trade. at 125, which was this one. So I had this order in for here, then it broke this white and never filled, and it filled on this candle. And then on that candle, it closed above my red. But given this is an area, doesn't necessarily, not necessarily penny perfect, but it did close above that, and it did make a little inverse head and shoulder here. And I didn't like how it closed above that, and this volume, and how big that candle body is. I was like, dang it, I just scaled up into... I was trying to trade in the range, which just would have been a great range trade, but just so happens to have broken it. So got my last one there and stopped out of all of them at 126 right there, next candle, just because I went close above there. And then oftentimes I can identify where the inflection points are just with the lines. Sometimes I get the direction wrong. However, this time I was like, well, not to be hasty, but if I'm wrong about it going down, it's breaking out. And I got pretty lucky with these candles, but I did get calls right here then. I was like, well, there's an inverse head and shoulder on the break of this red. We hadn't completed this cup yet. However, that's kind of what I was expecting, and potentially retesting high of day and 5 day. So I got 2 contracts here. They were pretty cheap. I tried to get another one, but it wouldn't fill. So I got, let's see. So stop on that. 35 cents, 23 cents, 23 cents, 22 cents is what I bought all those puts for, and I sold them all for 20, unfortunately. And then the calls, I got one at 126 and one at 127, both for 19 cents. So both right here on that break. And then we had those rip candles, and sold the first one for 44 cents. So like 130 something percent move just on those 2 candles. So it took my account from red to green. Actually barely green on the day. I'm gonna explain why, because I would have been up like 30 bucks today, but I didn't close the second one, and today just ended up wedging with no continuation. So I mean, I closed it, I stopped out, just trying to leave it for a runner. I've said before, and I need to probably stick to it more, if less than, less than 3 contracts, I need to just close them both, not have any runners. And even 3 is like, if you have 1 runner, that's 33% of the position. It's pretty large. And for how small this account is, to try and have runners, it's just also, I mean, you kind of need it to get the big growth, so it becomes, you have some of those big days that give you a nice cushion. But yeah, I thought about closing it after it broke this green, the steep green, the second one, but I left it and it kind of came down. Then I'm like, oh my goodness, it's gonna break this. And then I was thinking, wow, I should get puts. We got a shoulder here. Rejected the top of the range, but then I'm knowing it's in a wedge, so I'm kind of like, I'll wait for it to break white down here and or complete this inverse cup. But anyways, yeah, second one I stopped out at break even, but just that one contract from 19 cents to 44 took out my whole loss, and yeah, made me green on the day. Just a tiny. I'm happy I'm green, because I was pretty red after I scaled in for all this, and then it ended up being a breakout. It's just, yeah, too bad I didn't take that other one. And that was it, actually, I was out of buying power. So yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm happy with that. I think I probably need to be a little more strict on not leaving a second one for run. I mean, this is not every day where you get just complete wedge. I guess if I can kind of decipher what kind of day it is or what kind of move it is a little better, then I'll be able to tell, okay, I should just take more profit, or if I should have a runner. And I guess today was a pretty obvious liquidity build still. We weren't in a trend or something where it's like, okay, I need to keep a runner. So there were signs that could have helped me to not. And then if it is a trend day, it's a good sign to try and keep one runner. So yeah, but yeah, happy about that trade. Happy I flipped it. I mean, that's a challenge that I've had to work at. Everyone has to work at some point. Being able, it's just not having a bias. This was wrong. It didn't work, and so I had to stop it. And that means the other ways, right? The fortunate thing was that I had these 2 big candles that added a bunch of premium on those. This white was going to be my stop right here, and I was going to wait till 5-day or 5-day, which these got close. It didn't quite hit it, but it was plenty big. Yeah, premiums went crazy. Rest of the day just ended up kind of wedging still. So I did a couple trades on the big account. I did take puts here, but I think I didn't look at Eric's or Emperor's at all today. I looked on the 30-minute, but we had this little head and shoulders here. Head, shoulder, shoulder, and a break of this white. I did get puts there. I closed one, and then I think broke even on the other one. I think actually I got calls right here too. Yeah, I got calls right here also, just as another retracement trade, and the white being my support. And that was also a green trade. And then this one might have been a little bit red, but I'm still green on the big account also. Didn't catch any bit of this, which I'm fine with. But there might have been a less aggressive, like this white one down here, which is why I broke here and then didn't have continuation, because I think they're probably, let's see if they had that drawn in. Yeah, Emperor has a less aggressive blue one down there, which makes sense. So that's part of the bad thing if I'm not looking at their charts, if they have more algos drawn in than I've spotted. But I don't know if it's worth it, because I feel like I just don't trade as well when I'm just staring at theirs. Just doesn't give me conviction over the lines. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, so I didn't see that coming, and that's why it did end up bouncing there. And just a chop day. So that's what I got. Sub up, like up, comment down. Happy Money 6th round. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.